A radio telescope in Ohio once caught 72 seconds of something that still doesn't have a full explanation. When the astronomer reviewing the data saw it, he didn't write a technical note. He circled 6 characters in red pen and scrawled a single word next to them: wow. That printout became the most famous piece of paper in the search for alien life. The signal matched, almost perfectly, the exact frequency scientists had predicted an intelligent civilization would use to say hello across the stars. It was pointed at one tiny patch of sky. It happened once. And in the nearly 50 years since, despite thousands of hours of listening with far more powerful instruments, it has never happened again. By the end of this video you'll know exactly what was found, why it broke the rules, and why the leading explanation still doesn't fully add up. Rewind to the 1970s. Ohio State University ran a radio telescope nicknamed Big Ear, a football field-sized dish built to scan the sky for faint whispers from deep space. It wasn't searching randomly. It was part of a real scientific program called SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, systematically sweeping frequencies where a genuine alien transmission might hide among the natural static of the universe. On August 15, 1977, Big Ear was doing exactly that, recording data onto a stack of computer printouts nobody would even look at for days. When volunteer astronomer Jerry Ehman finally sat down with the pages, most of it was noise, numbers drifting between 0 and 1. Then he hit one line that stopped him cold, a sequence unlike anything else on the page, rising and falling in a pattern that looked less like static and more like a message. That's the line he circled. Here's what made that line so strange. Radio telescope data doesn't usually spell anything. Signal strength was logged as numbers 0 through 9, then letters for anything stronger, so a bigger letter meant a louder signal. On every other line, the values crept up and down gently, 1 or 2 steps at a time. This line reads 6EQUJ5, climbing from a 6 to a U, the second strongest reading the entire system could register, then sliding back down. That shape matters. It's exactly the pattern you'd expect from a signal fixed in the sky as Earth's rotation slowly carried the telescope's receiver across it, rising as it entered the beam, peaking at the center, fading as it left. Big Ear could only stare at one point for 72 seconds before the planet turned it away. That's precisely how long the signal lasted. Not a glitch. Not scattered noise. One clean, structured burst, then silence. Now here's the part that made scientists' jaws drop. The signal sat at almost exactly 1,420 megahertz. That number isn't random. It's the natural frequency at which hydrogen, the single most abundant element in the entire universe, emits radiation. Back in 1959, physicists Giuseppe Cocconi and Philip Morrison had published a paper arguing that if any alien civilization wanted to be found, this frequency was the logical choice: quiet, universal, the one channel every technological species in the galaxy would know to check, since every civilization studies hydrogen. Astronomers even nicknamed the region around it the water hole, a watering hole metaphor for where species might meet. Big Ear had been built specifically to listen there. So when a signal appeared, right on that exact frequency, shaped exactly like a real transmission, lasting exactly as long as physics predicted it should if it came from deep space rather than Earth, Ehman didn't just note it. He wrote wow. So naturally, everyone pointed telescopes back at that same patch of sky. Ehman himself searched again just weeks later. Nothing. Other astronomers tried in 1987, aiming Big Ear at the same coordinate 70 times. Nothing. In 2020, a citizen science project used the Allen Telescope Array in California, a set of instruments far more sensitive than anything available in 1977, to stare at that region for hours. Still nothing. Even the very large array in New Mexico came up empty. Whatever it was, it appeared exactly once, in one narrow beam, for exactly 72 seconds, and then vanished from the sky for good, at least as far as every follow-up search has ever detected. That absence is almost as strange as the signal itself. Real alien broadcasts, most scientists assumed, should repeat, should show some pattern of return. This one behaved like a flashbulb going off once in a completely dark room, and never again. Then in 2017, a possible answer appeared, and it made headlines everywhere. Astronomer Antonio Paris proposed that the source wasn't alien at all. It was a comet. 2 comets. 266P/Christensen and P/2008Y2 happen to be passing through roughly that region of sky, and comets are surrounded by enormous invisible clouds of hydrogen gas, sometimes larger than the sun itself, released as ice on their surface evaporates. Paris tested his own backyard telescope and detected a similar hydrogen signal near those comets, time to when they would have crossed Big Ear's field of view decades earlier. For a moment, it looked like a 40-year mystery had finally been solved by simple, unglamorous celestial plumbing, not aliens, just a dirty snowball venting gas at exactly the wrong, or right, frequency and moment. News outlets ran with it. Case closed, they said. Except most of the scientific community that had studied the WOW signal for decades wasn't convinced at all. Here's why the comet theory doesn't hold up. Big Ear used 2 feed horns, essentially 2 receivers pointed at slightly different patches of sky, scanning one after another. A source fixed among the stars, like a genuine radio transmission, should have shown up in both horns, just at different times. The WOW signal only ever appeared in one. Comets, meanwhile, are large, slow-moving, and close by comparison to deep space, and calculations by other astronomers showed neither comet was anywhere near that position in the sky back in 1977. One hadn't even been discovered yet, and wouldn't be for decades. Paris's backyard signal also turned out to be far weaker than what Big Ear had recorded, and other teams testing comets with dedicated radio telescopes couldn't reproduce anything close to that intensity. The comet explanation, however tidy it sounded, fell apart under its own numbers. So what was it? Decades later, the honest answer is still, nobody knows. Not definitively artificial, not definitively natural, not definitively explained. Big Ear itself is long gone. Ohio State demolished it in 1998 to make room for a golf course expansion, which means the exact instrument that caught this signal can never verify or re-examine it. All that survives is one printout, a circled string of characters, and a single word in red ink. What makes this story matter isn't whether aliens sent it. It's that for 72 seconds, humanity's listening equipment recorded something that still fits the profile of an intentional signal from beyond our solar system better than any noise, glitch, or celestial object we've managed to pin on it since. Somewhere out there, whatever produced it either happened once by pure cosmic coincidence, or it's still out there, waiting for us to be listening again at exactly the right moment. Subscribe for more stories like this.